everyone, so this is the beginner's makeup on the eyes. Eye makeup is my favorite part of any makeup because you can be the most creative with it. You know, foundation and the face is the most basic, and then lips is just a color, but this allows you so many opportunities to be creative, and it's like the focus of your face. So I'm just gonna get started. Like I said before, you do apply primers before a lot of things to make them look better and last longer, and your eyes is like the main thing you need a primer for. Like, I don't wear a primer for my face right now, but I will not go without a primer for my eyes. The two most popular primers, I think, is Too Faced Shadow Insurance, which you've probably seen in a lot of my videos. It comes out of a tube like this, and it's just this substance, goes on wet and dries. Works really well. It's about $18, and that's pretty expensive if you're just starting out on makeup. And then another popular one would be Urban Decay Primer Potion. If you want a cheaper alternative, there are drugstore brands that make it. This comes with a wand, and it goes on wet and dries. Now, they have drugstore primers. I don't know how well they work, but I do know of a primer by the brand NYX, which is what I showed you, the NYX Jumbo Eye Pencil. And they have an eyeshadow base. It's $7, and they have a clear one, which goes on clear, and then they have a skin tone one, which goes on your skin. This is also a different kind, which comes in a little thing like this. It is from MAC. It is also a primer for your eyes, and it is like this little jar thingy. Get it on your finger and rub it in wherever. Now, I don't know what it is with their MAC primers, but their face primer did not work good for me at all, and their eye primer really sucks for me. My eyeshadow creases like crazy when I wear this, so I have not worn this very much. I'm just going to get started applying the primer, and I'm going to be using Urban Decay Primer Potion. Let's get you close up. Why do I always do crazy faces when I'm getting you close up? You're going to get some of it on your wand, and you just need a few little swipes. You don't need to cover the whole entire lid. And then you rub it in. Make sure you get it onto the brow bone, which is this high area. You can feel your bone right there. And the inner tear duct, which is this area. This is your lid, which you don't know that, you should. The crease is, you see where your eye naturally goes in when you push on it? That is your crease. This is your outer corner. It's just the basic areas of makeup. Let me show you what a difference eye primer makes. This is the blue shadow without the primer. This is the blue shadow with the primer. Isn't that so much better? Because some people are like, I don't need a primer. But look, that is so much more prettier and vibrant, like it should be. After your primer, you can apply a base. There are many things you can use as a base. Like, you can use a cream base for colored eyeshadows. Like, if I wanted to do a red eyeshadow, I could make it pop by putting on this red cream. And remember, anytime you put a cream on, you set it with a powder. So I could put this red cream all over my lid, and then I could set it with a red powder. So that is an option. Also, they have these NYX Jumbo Eye Pencils that come in many different colors. I use the white one a lot, but you can also use any other color to match the shadow that you're doing. I'm just going to do the brown in this video because I'm doing a basic eye. And the basic eye looks pretty natural. You just put on like a neutral color like a brown, and then a darker color in the crease. So I'm just going to put this on right here on the lid, and then also you have highlight areas for your eyes, which is this bone right here. Some people like to do it in their inner tear duct because that makes your eyes look a lot more open, and then I sort of bring it down right there too and blend it all out. And rub this in too. You don't need a whole lot, so these are going to last you forever. They're about $4 or $5. I'm going to be using this one, Half Baked, which is this shimmery brown, and it's very pigmented. If you don't know what very pigmented means, it means that whenever you put it onto your finger, the color shows up really well, and you'll know that you won't need to put it on a lot of times to get the color that's in the pan. I'm going to be using Half Baked and Smog, and then Virgin as a highlight color. It is a shimmery white color. The basic thing to remember is you always put a very light color up here. You put whatever color on your lid, and then mostly you put a darker color in your crease because that creates a shadow and makes your eyeshadow look good. So I'm going to start by applying the Half Baked color to my lid. Your lid consists of this area up to the crease. There's a lot of eyeshadow brushes that you could use to apply your eyeshadow. I have a favorite that I use all the time, but I'm just going to show you a lot of choices. You can apply it with a brush that looks like this. You can apply it with a brush that looks like this, a brush like this, a brush like this. This is my favorite brush. It's very dense, which means it's very short and hard bristles, and it really packs the color on good. So I'm just going to get some of it onto my brush and always tap off the excess, and you can glide it on or you can pat it on. I like to pat it on because it really makes the color show up better. So you just pat it on like this, and when you hold the brush, hold it at the end of the brush instead of right here, because whenever you hold it at the end, it really lets the brush do the work instead of you having the most control of it, if that makes any sense at all. So now it is onto your lid, and then you're going to, if you want to, you can blend it out, which is so important in eyeshadows, to blend it out. But since you're putting a darker color in the crease right here, we're not going to blend it. Now what I use to get into my crease is this two-sided brush from Walmart. It was like $7. It has this big fluffy end. It is a big fluffy brush, but then it looks sort of pointy at the end, which helps me get into my crease. And then it has this fluffy brush, but it's tinier. And this I use on my highlight. So what I'm going to do is put the tip of my brush into the Smog, tap it in there, tap off the excess, and then close my eye, find your crease, and do it like a windshield wiper. It's in your crease. You can bring it all the way into your crease, but I usually just stay halfway into the crease. And then you can like sort of bring it down like this. There's many shapes that people like to do with their eyeshadows. I like to bring mine like at an angle. See? I don't know, I just like that outward look. See how crazy this looks right now? We are not keeping it like this because there's always cleanup, there's always blending. Like you see, I want the angle, but there's this big brown mark sticking out. So you would just take a Q-tip, get it into some makeup remover, and you can just wipe that right off. Now that you have your crease color in there, you can just add your highlight color. I'm just using Virgin. Get it on there, tap off the excess, apply it all up here, and I apply it down here too, leading me to this highlight spot. And you can sort of bring it down to blend this out, and I take this, using the side of it to blend this out, and this too. You can also add some of that highlight out here to emphasize this angle and to go along with the highlight on your cheekbones already. Okay, and then I'm just going to add some of the highlight right here where we put that before, and then do the liner. So the eyes are basically done. That is the basic eye. You just put some shadow and then you put some darker color in the crease and you have your eye shadow down packed. It does get more complex than that, but that is basically what you need to know for your eyeshadow. I'm going to be using pencil liner on the bottom. This inner part right here is your waterline, and I apply it to the waterline, not all the way through. If you apply it like halfway through, it's better, because if you apply it all the way, your eyes will look smaller. And then I apply it a little bit on the bottom, under the waterline. And then I apply on the tight line, which is right there. You could use this pencil liner on the top lid too, but I like to use liquid liner on the top and not the bottom, because it would usually come off on the bottom and it stays on the top. So I'm using this liquid liner. This is a drugstore product by Maybelline Lash Stiletto, and you shake it up and it has this little felt tip like this. It just goes on like that. If you're just beginning, it may be a little hard to work with, but you can get it down with practice. Get really close here. Apply it very carefully. You can go all the way in with this if you wish. This is just a thin line. If you want to, you can leave it lined like this, but I always like to go for a little bit more intense look and make it a little thicker with a wing on the end. If you don't know what a wing is, you just bring it up a little bit and curve it down. And then make it thicker. So that is a winged eyeliner. Also, another tip for eyeshadow is, like, if you wet it, it will apply a lot brighter and more vibrant. You could spritz it with a water bottle, and then you brush it into the color. This is the red by itself, this is the red wet, and the red looks a lot prettier when it's wet. Looks more pink kinda, but it shows up a lot better. So you can use this deathly tool that all boys think is deathly on your lashes if you want to. I want to. They make my lashes look way better. You just get it at the base. At first I was really scared to use this. Make sure your lashes are in it and you just like squeeze it a few times. And it curls them. If they're not as curly as you want, get it in there again. Pump, 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 pump. Okay. My favorite mascara is Falsies, but I ran out of Falsies and I'm so lazy and have never gotten another Falsies, which is from Maybelline. It's in a purple tube. If you don't know what that is, it's just like this. I ran out of it and I didn't want to get more, and I love the brush on it so much. And then I have this great big lash mascara that I do not like the brush on it. So I was like, I'm just gonna put the brush of my Falsies into the big tube of the big pink tube, because I have a lot of mascara in there that I don't use. And this is what I've done. This is the Falsies cap in the brush, and this is the big tube of mascara. So I get a lot of mascara still because this tube is full, and I get to use my Falsies brush. Is that not creative or what? I just thought of it and I was like, yes, I'm so using it. So they have brushes that look like this with this curled wand. That's what I'm going to be using. I love it so much. And you just put it at the base of your lashes and wiggle up. And you can put it on the bottom lashes if you choose. So they have different types of wands. Like this was the cap for the big pink one. It is a huge wand. Some people like huge wands for their lashes, but this wand just does not work for me. Those are like brushes, and then you have your plastic kind, which is like this really big plastic bristles, which I like. It's just not my favorite. This is from CoverGirl. And then this one is another plastic bristles from Rimmel. They're really crazy looking. Look at that. You can also fill in your brows if you like. And when I fill in my brow, I use my Naked palette in the shade Buck. Now I know this is a lot lighter than my actual brow, but the color that you fill in your brows with is supposed to be lighter than your actual brow. And I'm just using this liner brush from Avon. It's just a flat brush like this. Get some of it. Start from the inside. And it just like makes it darker. If you have any like bald spots in your brows, it'll definitely fill them in. And then I like to brush it out with this brush. That's how you do to fill in your brows, see? Because adding a dark color to your already dark brows would just be crazy. So, I look a little bit crazy with only one eye done. But I'm just going to let you know, if you're first starting out in makeup, it would be a good idea to invest in some palettes, because if you don't want to buy like all these single eyeshadows, then you can get a lot in a palette. The thing that I would recommend was be like a BH or a Coastal Scents palette. If you don't know what that is, you can go to www.coastalscents.com or www.bhcosmetics and get you one of these palettes. It is 88 colors for about $20, and the colors are about the size of a dime, but they last you a long time because you don't use like every single color every single day. And it's a really good deal, and the colors are actually really good. My top always breaks off, but it comes with so many colors. It's like dark and then reds and pinks and blues and greens and oranges and whites, and you get so much in this palette for $20. If you don't want a palette that big, which I don't know why you wouldn't, because I love it, then you could get like how I have this palette. This is a blush and bronzer palette. If you don't want to buy everything separate, you could just get it in this palette, and then that's about $20 too. Also, just buy any kind of palettes that you can. This one is one from BH Cosmetics, and I customized it myself. Just added any shadows that I wanted into it. There are 6 in it, but you can get them with like 15 in there. So anything at all. Like this is a palette. This is an Avon palette. They have these palettes at Walmart for $10. You get 9 colors. Anything. This is a Victoria's Secret palette. It comes with a lot of shades and they're good colors. So I definitely just recommend getting a palette because I really love them. It's basically all for your eyes. That's what you're going to do for them. If you have any questions, let me know. If you want me to do more complex looks, there will definitely be tutorials so you can watch how that's done. But this was just explaining it step by step so that you can know which brush is for what and everything like that. I'll see you guys in the next video, which will be on the lips. Bye!